Hello everyone, I'm Frederick Lansong, Systems Engineer, part of Fortinet Philippines. Today, we're going to talk about the hyperscale secured networking with SPU-powered FortiGate F-Series. Our goal is to build ultra-scalable security-driven networks with FortiGate next-gen firewalls. Fortinet's main product line is the FortiGate Network Firewall. It is powered by the FortiOS, and FortiOS is a custom operating system made by Fortinet to do network security. It enables customers to provide security-driven networking, which can protect from any scale at the edge or even at the data center. It's a single OS solution across all our product lines and is part of our security fabric ecosystem. We address today's security demands by providing security-driven networking, adaptive cloud security, and zero trust access. Coupled with the open ecosystem integration, as well as a FortiGuard threat intelligence for up-to-date security intelligence, our solutions are able to protect our customers from new and emerging threats as well as known threats that are already present. There are four main challenges our customers are facing today in network security. Number one is lack of visibility and compliance controls. Without the visibility into what's happening in their network, our customers are unable to enforce policies that will enable them to comply with data security and security best practices. Number two is performance degradation. If our customers try to enable all of these security functionalities and capabilities, it will be very hard for their systems because enforcing this functionality requires a lot of performance in terms of hardware resources. Turning all this functionality will degrade the performance of their network and will result to poor user experience. Third is protecting from exploitable vulnerabilities. Users have a lot of devices. All of these devices have different operating system, different software. This software and operating system have vulnerabilities, and attackers target these vulnerabilities to be able to compromise this device and do malicious takeover or exfiltrate sensitive data. Lastly is delivering automation. Our customers has a lot of systems within them, and it's very difficult to manually remediate, to manually control each of their system. So there should be an automation platform that enables our customer to dynamically and instantly respond to detected actions in an automated fashion, which will help them streamline and reduce the time to respond to a particular incident. Fortinet delivers enterprise-grade security through our security-driven networking with a single operating system, platform, and management. Our goal is to help our customer protect their network and devices as well as their users by adaptable policy and advanced content filtering. In terms of protection, we can segment their network, we can detect threats, and we can prevent potential attacks and threats from being successful in the network. Number two, we can automate also in terms of the detected incidents. We can create rules to be able to automatically respond based on the specific detected activity. We can also protect applications. We can do vulnerability scanning and protection with virtual patching. We can also consolidate all of this into our network security firewall functionality, as well as prevent potential exploit. Then we can protect at any scale or accelerate, whether it be 5G, hyperscale, or massive elephant flows. We're able to provide the capacity and throughput that is needed by our customers. FortiGate has the feature set large enterprises are looking for. Here you can see some of the key functionalities FortiGate has in order to enable our customer to deliver what they need to deliver in terms of performance, in terms of capability or capacity, as well as security. Features such as virtual domains enable our customer to be very flexible in terms of deploying virtual firewalls so that they can service different sub-organization or group within their company. And then in terms of cloud on-ramp deployment, we support up to 100 gigs of elephant flow. Applications that are very sensitive to latency can also be inspected. Only single-digit microsecond latency is incurred. FortiGate is also capable of hosting the DMZ. In terms of DMZ, we can do load balancing as well as provide security capabilities to prevent potential attacks from external threats. Integrated web application firewall is also present in hand with the application protection capability and control. FortiGate also supports high bandwidth, high throughput tunnel capability using the IPsec industry standard. FortiGate can also implement full BGP with multiple internet service providers to provide high performance network links and redundant network capabilities. Lastly, there's a built-in anti-DDoS protection within the solution itself. That means we're able to prevent potential DDoS attacks from external sources. FortiGuard Labs is Fortinet's Threat Research Center. It consists of visibility capabilities with telemetry coming from network, web, sandbox, email endpoint, different channels and different sources, so that these sources will be able to provide the necessary information and detection capabilities to target specific threats, to counter those threats, and also provide intelligence on new and emerging zero-day threats. FortiGuard Labs employs machine learning AI detection in terms of protection in millisecond, very fast detection capability. We also have the Fortinet distribution network where there are geographically located FortiGuard labs worldwide where these labs detect and process all this information. There's also machine learning that are employed to be able to automate and to accelerate the detection and prevention of new kinds of threats. After processing all of this information using our technologies, we have actionable threat intelligence. Like for example, security fabric protection such as IPS, intrusion prevention, application control, web filtering, antivirus, anti-spam, endpoint vulnerability, and providing customers the capability to detect IOCs or indicators of compromise. We also have proactive research arm where we have provided adversary playbooks, security blogs, threat intel briefs, threat signal, and virtual patches. Lastly, FortiGuard can also provide additional services such as penetration testing, phishing service awareness, and also incident response to our customers' needs. FortiGate can simultaneously provide our customer high capacity and throughput with high level of security. We're able to reduce the attack surface of our customer's network via segmentation capabilities and also consolidate security functionalities such as intrusion prevention and other threat protection solution such as anti-malware and vulnerability protection all into one device. Acceleration can also be done by the hyperscale capability of our FortiGate appliances. This hyperscale capability can service up to millions of concurrent connections at a time, enabling large-scale network and security delivery. In this scenario, you can see that the FortiGate is deployed in the data center as a segmentation firewall. What segmentation does is basically it separates network devices into different groups. You can see here there's a web segment, application segment, and a data segment. So these servers are segregated by the FortiGate and their network, with the FortiGate able to scan and inspect all the traffic coming in between this segment. It is also capable of controlling what type of traffic and what devices are authorized to access which network segment. The goal here is to prevent internal and external threats with the advanced security protection. You can see here that malicious traffic can be stopped if it's coming from the internet, external sources. Capabilities include macro segmentation. It's also highly flexible and resilient because it supports asymmetric traffic inspection as well. With the industry-leading automation and threat protection capability, our customers are able to consolidate, protect, and achieve their operational efficiency in the large data center environment. In this scenario, where FortiGate is deployed in the edge or perimeter, it is used to protect the entire network from external threats as it is directly facing the internet. It is capable of doing application control as well as inspect for any malware that is coming in and out of the network. It's also supporting the latest TLS 1.3 to do SSL inspection. Most of our web traffic today, around 85%, are already SSL encrypted. Without this capability, the firewall will not be able to inspect what's happening under encrypted traffic, such as HTTPS traffics. With combination of our AI machine learning FortiGuard services, we're also able to control what type of applications are allowed and also control what websites are allowed the users are allowed to access. So the full benefit here is we have the full visibility in terms of what's happening in their network, going in and out, and complying in terms of the data governance with minimal disruption to the user experience. In this scenario, FortiGate is deployed in a data center to protect specific applications, like for example, database or web applications that are accessed from the outside internet, and then it can also be accessed within the organization. Now, the goal here is to protect against potential zero-day threats as well as vulnerabilities that could be exploited by attackers. The Security Processor Unit or SPU of FortiGate delivers high performance, low latency so that there's no perceivable difference with FortiGate protecting the applications for the user. With this kind of deployment, our customers are able to achieve the protection of their critical business applications while still delivering the service level that is needed. Fortinet and FortiGate has always been a consistent leader in terms of network security firewalling. In fact, it's a winner of the 2021 Customer's Choice Award. For the second consecutive time, Fortinet was recognized by the Gartner Peer Insights Customer Choice for the year 2020 and 2021. We achieved a rate of 4.8 out of 5, which is the highest among the security vendors. Looking at the Gartner Magic Quadrant, latest as of 2020, you can see that FortiGate and Fortinet is a leader in network security firewall as well as WAN edge infrastructure and a visionary in the wired and wireless LAN access infrastructure. This proves that Fortinet solutions are very capable of securing your network while still delivering very good network connectivity capability. In terms of network firewall, we can see here that Fortinet has already been a consistent leader among the industry. In fact, it is more than 10 years in the leader's position on network firewall. While in the SD-WAN, Fortinet is also a leader. And you can see here in the SD-WAN, other network security firewall vendor are not present. So this puts Fortinet in a unique position where we're the leader in terms of network security firewall and SD-WAN at the same time. Fortinet is consistently and constantly innovating in the field of security. Now let's look at what are the new innovations Fortinet has come up with recently. Our new FortiGate model, specifically the F series, are powered by a new system on a chip 4, network processing 7, and content processing 9. These are custom ASICs or application-specific integrated circuits to do network and security functionality, which give us an advantage compared to some of our competitors that use general-purpose CPUs. Using these custom CPUs, we're able to achieve much higher performance rating and throughput. Looking at the evolution of our processors, starting from year 2006, we're currently already in the ninth generation of content processing, fourth generation of the system on a chip, and seventh generation of the network processing. The content processing enables us to do functionalities such as anti-malware scanning and intrusion prevention, for example. And the SOC 4 is an all-in-one system, usually implemented in our lower models that is a unified single chip solution where all the security functionalities and network functionalities are done on the SOC itself, on the system on a chip. While the network processor or NP enables us to do intense network functionality like routing, switching, etc. All those functionalities specifically to connectivity and networking, including VPN functionality. The network processor 7 SPU accelerates networking function. It is capable of delivering up to 40 gigabit per second per chip, and it can also do IPv4 IPv6 network acceleration, supporting multicast, unicast, and anycast. It also is capable of doing stateful inspection in the capacity of 45 million packets per second. It also supports encryption up to 25 gigabit per second per chip. It's also very low latency. In terms of latency, it's just a single digit microsecond optimized by hardware-based architecture. The content processor CP9 accelerates computationally intensive functions. For example, IPS. So it can do pre-scan speculation, signature correlation, and anomaly detection. There's a flow engine on the app level. It is the industry's fastest application identification and steering hardware chip. And it enables us also to do flow-based engine antivirus using dynamic signatures, hashes, and configurable TTTDs. In terms of encryption, it is able to do key exchange, bulk encryption, and SSL up to 5 gigabit per second per chip. The SOC 4 system on a chip is the chip that powers all of our branch SD-WAN firewall models. The ones that are usually deployed in remote branches and offices with smaller footprint and capacity. It is using NP6 Lite. This is a light version of the NP6, and it can support up to 10 gigs of firewall throughput, 9 million packet per second of networking, as well as 3 gigs of IPsec throughput. It uses a quad-core CPU architecture, and all 40 OS capabilities and features are already running on this single chip. In terms of the content processing, it is running CP9 Lite, so it is also capable of doing IPS, antivirus, as well as SSL encryption. This is also very power efficient because this is a small form factor ideal for desktop level or mounted firewall, as well as it's able to run in a very low power environment. Here's our entry level lineup powered by the SOC 4. So you can see here there are multiple models of FortiGate. These are the models that are usually deployed in branches where the throughput is relatively low compared to a main network or a main data center. You can see here they're starting from a model 30E to 50E, 60, 80, and also the new F series. So the E series is still available, but the newest is the F series. Looking at the F series, it has higher capacity, higher capacity compared to the E series. And looking at the interfaces here, there's also models that have built-in LTE modem. We also have an upcoming model with 5G radio already also built in, so that it will be able to support the new 5G technology. And there's also some models here that can support built-in access point. It has built-in wireless radio, so that if your customer want to deploy wireless coverage on their remote branch, the firewall will be an all-in-one solution for that. This model are mostly supporting RJ45 copper interfaces, while some of them like the 40 ATE and the ATF supports GESFE plus interfaces. We are showcasing here the FortiGate 61F. This is a sole business branch office model. It's already a full-fledged NGFW as well as a secure SD-WAN network device, similar to our other higher-end FortiGate devices. This model supports up to 10 gig of firewall throughput and around 700 Mbps of full threat prevention throughput with everything turned on. You can see here in terms of the ports, it supports multiple WAN or ISP, and then it can also support flexible port configuration. So the ports can be configured either as a WAN port or as a LAN port if our customers require more ISP links. This also enables our customers to have redundant internet connectivity on their branches as well. There's also a built-in wireless radio model of this one that's available. Now looking at the mid-range lineup, there's the FG100F, FG200F, FG400E, and FG600E with the throughput increasing respectively. So for this model, the latest generation are the F series again. And then you can see here that the F series, for a mid-range model, we support 10 GSFP plus interfaces already. Now here's our high-end lineup. As you can see here, there's also a new F-series model like the 1801, 2601, 4201, and 4401. Some of these models support up to 100 gig of QSSP28 interfaces. And like the 4401, you can see the throughput capabilities reaching up to 1.2 terabit per second. Now we're showcasing the 1800 and 1801F model. This model is powered by the NP7 and CP9 processor. Some facts you can see here is up to 125 gigabit per second of firewall throughput, and it is capable of 9 gigabit per second of threat prevention throughput with everything turned on. This is a 2-unit appliance. You can see the number of interfaces also available, and this hardware supports dual hot swappable fan and power supplies. On our ultra high-end lineup, we have the FortiGate 7030E series, 6300F, 6500F, 7040E, and the 7060E. For our newest generation, it would be the 6300F and the 6500F. You can see here the interfaces supported below, as well as the throughput capability with a very high number. Now, this is not all of our high-end. I want to show you one of our latest flagship high-end models that's currently released.
Introducing the FortiGate 7121F series, with unprecedented threat protection and SSL inspection performance for your large enterprise, hyperscale data center, or service provider. At the top of the chassis, the FortiGate 7121F has 2 system management modules. These are redundant modules that monitor the chassis' operating parameters, such as temperature and power, and generate alarms if any parameters exceed a threshold. They also provide management and console access to the chassis. There are also 8 power supplies, which operate in a 4+4 power redundancy. The FortiGate 7121F's modules leverage Fortinet's latest purpose-built security processors. The CP9 for content processing provides top-of-class threat protection performance. The NP7 for networking is optimized for ultra-low latency and industry-leading firewall performance. It provides state-of-the-art security acceleration for traffic such as VXLAN and GRE IP tunneling, as well as IPsec VPN, including Suite B. For cooling, the back of the 7121F chassis contains 6 hot-swappable fan trays. The FortiGate 7121F has 2 interface modules which provide connectivity at one of the highest interface densities available. A total of 36 QSFP28 100 gigabit ports and 4 QSFP-DD 400 gigabit ports deliver up to 1.9 terabits per second of firewall performance. Each interface module has 5 NP7s, which allow it to perform ultra-powerful data forwarding. Each interface module also provides 8 terabytes of high-speed solid-state disks for on-box logging, providing visibility and traffic analytics both on-box and off-box with FortiAnalyzer. If you have ultra-high logging needs, the FortiAnalyzer Big Data 4500F is a great complement. The switching capacity between the interface modules is 1 terabit per second, and they have a line rate forwarding capability of 400 gigabits per second to the 7121F's processing modules. The FortiGate 7121F supports up to 10 Fortinet processor modules, scaling up to a total of 520 gigabits of threat protection performance. The processing modules themselves are the secret ingredient to the FortiGate chassis platforms, and the processing module on the FortiGate 7121F is one of the most powerful. Each one has 2 NP7s, giving a capacity of 400 gigabits of firewall forwarding for the processing module alone. It also has a total of 8 CP9 content processors, which accelerate additional IPS functions. This makes the 7121F processing module the fastest processing board for threat protection in Fortinet's chassis lineup. The processing modules themselves also provides additional interface density, with 8 SFP28 ports which support both 10 and 25 gigabit speeds, and 2 QSFP28 100 gigabit speed ports. The FortiGate 7121F, with up to 540 gigabits per second of SSL inspection and 520 gigabits of threat protection performance, allows you to implement security without compromise. For more information about the FortiGate 7121F, please visit Fortinet.com or talk to your reseller.
The FortiGate 7120F is currently the world's fastest and most powerful next-generation firewall. It gives our customer future-proofing and unprecedented capacity and throughput capability. With this model, our customer will be able to secure their network without compromising on any performance or keep capacity, because even if we enable all this security functionality, these models will still be able to deliver up to 520 gigabit per second of thread throughput. In terms of stateful firewall, it can reach up to 1.89 terabit per second on this chassis. This is ideal for data center edge and core for very large network environment, as well as campus edge and core. And also, this is also ideal for 5G deployment and rollouts, for especially for service providers. And it also has built-in 400 gigabit per second of connectivity, super fast connectivity in between the nodes. So with the chassis-based approach, our customer can invest on the chassis, and then they can upgrade as needed to increase the number of processing modules and networking modules to scale up the capacity as they need. This is one of the processing modules within the FortiGate 7120F. It's called the FPM 7620F. So the processing module houses two NP7 and 8 CP9 processor. In on itself, it's already similar to capacity and performance as one of our higher end models already. So this module is very modular, which can be added into the chassis to increase the capacity of the chassis as customers need to increase their throughput capability when their network or requirement grows. You can see the performance here can reach up to 67.5 gigabit per second of IPS performance and 52 gigabit per second of threat protection performance. Very suitable for large enterprise, data center, or service provider deployment. The FortiGate interface module FIM7921F houses up to 5 NP7 chips inside. So this enables up to 12.8 terabit per second of switching fabric performance and 1 terabit per second between FIMs. This is basically the networking component of the chassis. It can deliver this amount of network throughput for ideally suited for large enterprise, data center, and service provider again. So this is working hand in hand with the processing module to deliver the network and security capability that our highest end flagship model can deliver. Now let's talk about some of our continuous innovation. Take a deep dive into what we're doing currently to improve upon and be a leader in the market of network security. Our FortiOS is currently in version 7 already, and then this is also present in our platforms as well. You can see the latest FortiGate 7121F with the FortiAnalyzer 4500F being a good pair to partner with this very high-end model with a very high-end capacity. We're also focusing now in terms of attack surface reduction. So we're offering SOC services as well, not only firewall services. We are also looking into ZTNA, Zero Trust, providing security for endpoints, remote users as well. We also do security like DNS and also video filtering service capabilities. Lastly, in terms of efficient operations, we are also working into simplifying and automating a lot of the network processes and security remediation processes for our customer to be able to leverage on multiple FortiGate solution integration with each other and even integration with other vendors as well. With our security fabric, our customer will benefit from the sharing of threat intelligence as well as the integration in between various network security components with automation already implemented so that it will be faster and smoother experience in terms of network and security management. Using the Fabric Management Center, you can see multiple FortiGate solutions or devices that are implemented already. You can see here, for example, in this screenshot, it's a logical topology of the deployment. You can see how the devices are connected to each other so that it will be easier for the customer to be able to know how their network is set up and connected, as well as more visibility and control as well. It supports multiple virtual domains or virtual FortiGate firewalls so that our customer can implement even this Fabric Management Center with multiple virtual firewalls that could be hosted either in different location or different business units within their organization. A built-in feature into our Fabric Management Center is the automation stitch. So what automation stitch is basically, these are the mechanisms that enable us to trigger particular action or policy based on monitored parameters, like for example a certain device. If we detect the device is infected, it can the automation stitch can instruct the firewall to automatically create a block policy to that device IP address, for example. So that's just an example. There are a lot of methods to do automation stitches, not only limited to FortiGate, but can also be integrated to third party or even our other solutions like the endpoint, or our SIM, or our ADC, or even our WAF solution. So this is basically an integration point where Fortinet solution will be able to benefit from each other upon implementing this kind of deployment. They're able to automate a lot of the things that are typically manually done by the administrator. To summarize, FortiGate protects at any edge at any scale with its security-driven networks that are scalable. First, we can manage risks, both internal and external, and that risks that are inherent to their applications. Second, we consolidate, reduce cost and complexity by eliminating certain security devices and consolidating it into just FortiGate, since our FortiGate already has a lot of built-in functionality. Third, accelerate and deliver optimal application experience. With the capabilities in networking and performance of the FortiGate, we're able to provide very good user experience and performance, as well as reliability in terms of network security and performance. Number four is to automate. So that means we're able to streamline their operation, the remediation, and effectively increase the agility and response time of their network environment and security posture. So it will be overall very beneficial for them to go for Fortinet solutions. We would like to thank BST for hosting this event, and thank you as well for your time.